welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We're moving now into our second segment. This one is going to be a conversation with two of the police officers who were a part of this victory in terms of wearing your dreadlocks, being allowed to wear your dreadlocks in the workplace. In with us, we've got PC Aaliyah Wade of the Belize Police Department and also PC Chantel Berry. Guys, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
I'll tell you what, first, primary for me, you guys are looking very, very lovely. And of course, congratulations on your victory and standing up for what you believe in. I want to start though by talking about how this all came about. What happened? You're wearing your dreadlocks. It is a part of your beauty. Tell us what happened. Let's start there.
Which one of us is going to start?
You're already on the screen. You start. That's Aaliyah. Start, Aaliyah.
Okay, so one day I went to work and it began with rumors. It began with people throwing different phrases at us, like, "Oh, well, Chester winning now, so I better take out their dreads." So I never really paid no mind because that's how the department goes. A lot of gossip. In every workplace you have gossip. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really pay no mind, but it started to get like an attack at work. Mm-hmm. Like every day you go to work, you hear people mumbling, you hear people talking about it. "Oh, cut out of here, do this, do that, and it started to get frustrating and humiliating as well because it happens in front of people, mm-hmm. civilian people, and I felt away. Mm-hmm. Then one day I went to work and I received a call from an officer, mm-hmm. stating that he needed my presence urgently. I was in briefing at the time, standing waiting for where I'm going to be posted for the day, and that's when I got the phone call and they took me out of the briefing in front of everyone, mm-hmm. and told me that I have to go to see the officer immediately. And this was said in front of the entire the crowd that was mm-hmm. waiting for there, Mm-hmm. I was embarrassed. So when I went to the meeting, that was when they told me, this was only when they said it to me, they said that you need to remove those things out of your hair. So that was where it began.
Mm-hmm. Let me step back a bit, because did you joined the department. Did you already have dreadlocks, or did you start to grow it when you were already recruited in the department?
I started growing it when I passed out.
Okay. So one of the things that I think is really critical is that you, when the decision came down from management that you needed to cut your dreadlocks off because they're saying that's part of what is expected to be in the department, 6 of you said no. What made you come together? I mean, how did you decide, listen, this is just something that we know we can fight and we know we can win? Help us understand that.
Okay, so 6 of us were together, mm-hmm. and we came together because I can't understand, if I'm doing the proper thing and doing my job to the best of my ability, why my hair is a problem? I had it neat. The way I have my hair now is not the way I wear it at work. I wear it in one at the back. So I take it to the back and pin it up. Mm-hmm. It doesn't touch my color, mm-hmm. and my hat fits. Mm-hmm. So what is it? What is the problem? I see many females in the department have straighter hair than me, mm-hmm. with their hair touching their color, and nothing is said to them. Mm-hmm. So why is it said to me? And we came to a decision. It is not fair for them to wear their hair that way, but we cannot. So we came to a decision and we stood together. We even made a group together that we communicated on, talked together and said that what we are going to do. Mm-hmm. And that's how we came together as women, black females in this department. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Came together.
A question here. Were all of you contacted around the same time, or was it just you, Ms. Wade?
No, all of us. I was under the impression that it was only me. Mm-hmm. But when I got into the area that they had us in, that's when I saw all the rest of females, and I was like, and I was not aware that this was a meeting. I look around and I saw all of them, you know. So that's when I realized that it was more than one of us.
Okay. Let's get Chantel in. Chantel, tell us your side. What happened?
Well, like Aaliyah said, it all started with talking, and we're hearing about we have to cut our dreads off and what's not. So, for me personally, I had encounters with the now commissioner where he had told me that he wanted me to remove my locks, and from then it's been, well, it's not gonna happen for me. So it's been a back and forth thing between us and the department. And later down the line, when he became the commissioner, it was a sending out memos saying, well, it's time to cut the locks off, or giving us letters. Well, I received a letter saying that I had to remove my locks. And from there, it was on to being disciplinary charge within the department for not removing our locks. So I decided that, well, I'm already this far into it. I'm not going to back out now. I'm going to keep fighting and, push for what I believe in. And so here we are today after our victory, giving this talk to you guys now.
Now, 6 women against the department.
Actually,
Yeah.
it's only 2 of us that went into this court case against the department, just Aaliyah and myself. Initially, it was 7 of us, but the others chose not to take legal proceedings against the department. So it's just Aaliyah and I, really.
Did they cut their hair?
No.
Okay. I'm just making sure. But so my thing is, you get this instruction that it's against the dress code. I can hear from how you're explaining, that you're maintaining all the professional standards that are required to execute your job, but there's just this antiquated belief about what's acceptable and what's not that's holding you back. Not everyone has the willpower or the drive to really stand up against a system or be the first to stand up against a system. How did you guys come to that decision that you said, all right, it's not just saying to management that I'm not going to do it, I'm going to take it further?
Yeah.
Well, I actually started growing my locks from the age of 17, which was from before I started working. However, when I applied and I got accepted, when I went for my interview, they told me, well, the locks would not be accepted for training, so I would have to remove them. But after I finished my training, I would be allowed to put it back in. And at the time, I saw no problem with that, because I thought, okay, well, I'm doing something to better off myself. So the temporary removal of my lock shouldn't hinder me from making myself into someone productive in society.
Yes.
So I agreed. I removed the locks. I did my training. And after training, I decided, well, I want to regrow my locks. And so I started from there. Then it just became like a problem. And I couldn't understand why it was a problem, because there are other females who are in the department long before I have been in the department who have locks, and it never seemed to have been an issue from then. So I couldn't understand what the problem was now and why he chose to, bring this up. So I decided, you know what, I'm not going to sit back. I'm not going to have my rights trampled over. So I took this step. It was a hard decision for me. I'm not going to lie. I was afraid to do this. But through many conversations with Aaliyah, with my mom, with other people who supported me through this, I decided that I'm going to stick it out, that I have to be a change some way, somehow. And I can't just be like the average person and just sit and say, you know what, well, this is what they're dishing out to me, so this is what I'm going to take. I chose to be something different from that,
So you did, and then Aaliyah, of course, joined you in terms of taking this fight to the courts. Tell us about that, how that went, because it was 7 of you, 2 of you decided to stick that out. What was the conversation in terms of we're going to take this fight to the people?
Well, Aaliyah,
You go ahead, sis. You go ahead. You go ahead. You talk.
Okay. Aaliyah decided that, well, you know, Chantel, whatever you decide, I'm going with you. If we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight. If we're gonna sit back and just say, cut it out, well, that's what we're gonna do. But Aaliyah has a strong drive of her own, not just because I was the one there saying we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. You know, many times Aaliyah had to keep me afloat, not just the other way around. So she's been a big inspiration for me also.
Oh man.
Yeah, tell us. She's being shy this
Yeah.
morning, right?
No, I'm not shy. I'm not shy.
Go ahead.
But for me, I remembered when all the rest of them said that they weren't going to do it again. I was telling in a Creole
Go ahead.
how I tell Chantel, right? I told her, I said, Chantel, well, I don't know where I do, but whatever you say we are do, we are do. Because I know about to make them people that think that they go walk over we. And also we they do nothing wrong. There have many times that I've called her crying because sometimes it gets frustrating at work. People, no better stand down and stop fight administration and things like that. They would yell at us sometimes when we're at work, and sometimes I answer them. I answer them, but then not all the time you go to work. You're there in the mood for answer people. So I tell she here what we need for teaching people to listen. We need to do it, because if we not do it, nobody else not do it. Then they'll continue. They have generations after we will come and go through the same thing here and end up to get trampled upon too. We not have that. And that when me and she decided that we going to go, we going to do this thing, man. That's how we do it.
Yeah. You know, I'm glad you spoke of the hardship, especially while the court case was going on. But then again, you guys struck gold. There was a victory. What was that feeling like when you heard that you guys were victorious in this case?
I cried. I cry because we to go through this fun. 2019, me and she the battle this thing out every day in, day out. Me and her, we keep our communication strong, and we the battle this thing. Whatever we had to make cry on each other's shoulder, we did it, right? But we just that me a lot. So in 2 weeks, as both of us heard the decision the same time, I left shocked, like Wally tears dropped, and I want nobody think of Lisa after, but Wally tears dropped the son, no? And then like I may feel good that I have she by my side, Chantel Berry. I had her because she's strong as well. I don't think I could ever do this fight with nobody other than her. So.
Chantel, your reaction?
I almost cried.
You cried.
I can't even explain the overwhelming feeling that I felt at the time when I heard the decision. It was amazing. The way the judge passed it down, it was said so beautifully. And I don't think there are words that can describe that feeling right now, but it was just wonderful.
Now, you know, this is an issue that I think we in Belize are just starting to scratch the surface on. And it has very deep roots into colonialism. When you heard the arguments in court, and I want to distinguish as well, because some people interpret it to mean that you would only have dreadlocks if you are Rastafarian or if you identify as Rastafarian. But that's not what's being argued. It is the fact that it is discriminatory, and this is from what I've read from what the lawyers have put forward. But essentially, it's discriminatory to say that dreadlocks is not an appropriate hairstyle because it goes to the core of the beauty standards that have been set from long before, and we've passed through that. So when you're in court and you're hearing these arguments, you know, what are the things that stand out the most for you? That when you now meet a young lady who feels that they are being discriminated because of their hairstyle or natural hair in general, that you can pass on?
Well, I can tell them that this is not something that is just happening today. It is in our history. It was just like, how would you say, In other countries, certain things are not practiced.
Yeah.
Here as well, certain things are not practiced or put into play. But now that we have brought it to light, it is going to be of importance. Back in the days, it was stuff that had to deal with or color, you understand? Or hair type. If you're not straight, you're not professional. You understand? And back in the days, they fought for it and it was forgotten. Now it is remembered by us. So I feel good about that.
And as you said, I think earlier, which is a key point, it's not about breaking the rules, because you say the rules are it can't touch your shoulder, it has to fit under your hat, right? Your hair.
Yes, ma'am.
And you maintain those rules.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can have your style and still maintain what the standards are for code of conduct.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
So what's the relationship now within the department to you guys, being that you've been victorious?
Well, we still have murmurings going around, but I feel personally that we are more respected because now the murmurings are not coming to us directly. It is like more behind our backs, but people come to us. Congratulations, I'm really proud of what you do, you know. You stand up for this now, we could wear one. I even have females contacting me, like, Miss Wade, I'm so proud of you. People that are not my friends on Facebook, people that are not my friends on Instagram, contacting me, thanking me for standing up. Now I could wear my locks. These are things that they are telling me. Even females in the department are telling me congratulations, and I thank you for taking the stand because I don't think I could have do it. That's how some of them contact me and tell me, you know. So,
Miss Berry?
I could say this one thing. The hypocrisy is real within the department, because a lot of people that talked a lot of stuff about us are now coming to me like, oh, congratulations, I'm so glad you won, you know, a lot of things. But I don't let that bother me. I thank them for the congratulations and I just keep moving.
You know, PC Berry, tell us, you know, sitting through the case and hearing, you said that the judge was able to describe so eloquently why, in fact, what you were doing or what you were standing up for was right. What are your takeaways? What have you taken from this case that now becomes the lesson you can pass on to others?
That Black people recognize other Black people in this world, and they believe that we have to keep pushing forward and not live in those colonial days, as you said. And one of the things that the judge mentioned in the ruling was about colonialism, and she did say that, you know, we need to shift away from this colonial mindset that we have, because we're in the 21st century. We can't keep living in the past and thinking, oh, well, we have to uphold our, how should I say it, our masters' wishes as they did back then so many years ago. So for me, what I took from all of this was that I can stand up now and have a voice effortlessly. I don't need to put in as much fight as my ancestors have done already. You know, like they set that trend already for me. I just have to pick it up and keep going. And I wish that every other Black person out there that has some issue that they're facing would just pick up that same trend the way I did and keep going and keep fighting for their rights and not just give up.
Yeah, strong words there, Miss Berry. But a few times you guys did mention the commissioner and the commissioner and the commissioner. Since the victory, have you guys heard from the commissioner?
no. No.
Wow.
No.
He did, I mean, I think he said he's accepting the ruling, right?
He said so.
Yeah.
That's what I saw on his.
So what do you push for now? Do you push for a written change in the code of conduct, or you just are satisfied that now no one can come back to you and say that you can't have your dreads?
Well, you see, we can't really push for a written change because there's nothing in our regulations that stipulate we cannot have our locks.
Yeah.
So that was like our main weapon against him.
There's
no change really to make.
Yeah. There was a recent situation that brewed out of the Belmopan City Council where an individual was actually wearing her afro, and it arose that this is not the look that they're looking for. When you guys heard that, what was your thought?
It's sad because we are, I can't say majority black in this country, but we're like a lot of us are of African descent. And so something like an afro or something like natural hair, it shouldn't be a problem. Like that's something we see every single day, no matter what part of this country we're in.
Yeah.
So that should be like a norm for us. So I couldn't understand why that whole afro thing started up as an issue. I was totally against that.
Yeah. And it was interesting that your ruling came out around that same time as well.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, I think that it was really important that we have this conversation with you. We wanted to see the faces behind this challenge, and very often there are things that have been practiced for a long time, not because they're right, but just because we kept on doing them. And it takes brave people to challenge the system when they know that it is not fair or that we have moved past those times. As I mentioned earlier, that we don't have to call you WPC anymore because you are PCs. There's no distinction necessary. It's the job. So PC Berry and PC Wade, thank you for telling us just a small bit of your story. I'm sure your journey is much longer. And congratulations on successfully taking this case to the court.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're about to take a break. When we come back, we'll be chit-chatting with Karen Vernon and Carlos Perote. Remember, this past Sunday was actually Valentine's Day. You know what happened that day? There was a big competition, a jazz Valentine special. The winners will be revealed when we come back. Stay with us.